Alright, square root of a squared is a. And if you want to do the square root of that, I'm going to turn this sideways. Like the square root button is right. For all you iPhone users out there, it's right here. It says the second root. You know, the square root. I wish that 2 wasn't there. It's kind of annoying, but you know, it's the same thing. So let's take the square root of it, which is about 23 point. Let's see. Follow directions, Mr. Kosal. 23 point. Do you need to have that 0 there? You better say yes. If you're rounding the nearest tenths place, you need to have a number in the tenths place, even if it is 0. That is your A value, everybody. Alright, time to try one on your own. I'm going to flip the page, tear that off. Alright, on your own, everybody. Example 2. Oh, yo. Let's see, what problem do I want to throw at you? Okay. I'd like you to find little c. B. 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 Sound effects are real. Let's put big C right here, little c is right there. Big B, big A. Alright, we're going to say this is 9 feet. And we're going to say this is 14 feet. And folks, here's what I want you to do. Pause it. Please pause this right now. I'm going to have you try it on your own. Get an answer. Really try to see if you can get it. And then unpause it when you think you've got it or you just need some help. So go ahead and pause. Alright, let's give this a shot, folks. Sorry, the law of sines is just not going to work. A squared plus b squared equals c squared is not going to work. This only works with right triangles. So that's not a right triangle. It looks like a right triangle, but it's not. You have no idea unless they give you that little right angle symbol there. You can't do that. SOHCAHTOA is also out because once again, it works with right triangles and we don't have one. So the only thing that we can do is the law of cosines. I almost wrote the law of sines again. That's cosines right there. Great handwriting. So let's see. Law of cosines. Which equation? Well, oh my gosh, wow, that was stupid of me. I forgot to give you an angle. You sort of need an angle. Oops. 126 degrees. Yeah, that doesn't really work. So yeah, all that talk about pausing, it did nothing. Okay, let's do this together. If you want to pause it right now, give it a pause and see if you can do this right now that you have all the information. If not, here we go. Folks, I believe we're going to use this equation. B squared minus 2ab cosine of big C. Because I'm noticing that we have a big C. We're trying to find a little c, and I've got a little a, and I've got a little b. So I've got everything we need except this one. So, here we go. C squared equals a. Where are you, a? 14 squared plus little b squared. Where are you, b? 9 squared minus 2 times 14 times 9 times the cosine of 126 degrees. Okay. C squared equals, that's 196. That's 81. I'm going to multiply all that together. 2 times 14 times 9. I'm getting 252, folks. Times the cosine of 126. Alright, combine like terms. So 196 plus 81 is 277. Minus 252 times the cosine of 126 degrees. Can you combine these? No. You can't combine those. Don't even think about it. What you have to do is you have to multiply the 252 times the cosine of 126. Now here's a tricky one. And there's a reason why I'm giving you this problem. If you punch out the cosine of 126, you're going to get a negative number. Huge. Stay with me right now. This right here that I punched into the calculator, and you saw me do it, cosine of 126, which is negative, let's multiply it by 252. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a negative 148. That's not this negative that's already there. So hopefully if you're with me, if you know anything about a negative and a negative, there's the negative coming down. And inside the box, what I just punched out in the calculator is negative 148.1. You can round it, feel free. It's going to give you a pretty close answer. Negative and a negative, make a positive. C squared equals 277 plus 148.1. We didn't have that on the last problem. So I'm throwing a curveball at you. 277 plus 148.1. So I'm getting C squared equals 425.1. Let me make sure everybody can see this. And last but not least, square root both sides. So C equals square root, bam. 20 point. Now it doesn't say to round to nearest tenth. I kind of forgot that. I also forgot that angle. Dumb me. So round to whatever you want. I'm gonna round to the nearest hundredth. So 20.62. And because I've got labels, feet, circle that as the answer. All right, folks. I have one more question for you, and then we're gonna call it a day. Example 3. One more law of cosines. This time I'm going to have you find an angle. I'd like you to find the measure of angle L. Round to the nearest degree. Find the measure of angle L, round to the nearest degree. B L M N. And let's see, we're going to say that this is 5, this is 24, and this is 27. And that's all I'm going to give you. I'm making sure I'm writing the correct problem down from my notes. Okay, this is it, everybody. Now, if you look at this, this is the first concern. Where are they using B's and C's? Well, they're using different letters, which is not a problem. Honestly, if you're looking at this and saying, I really don't like this, I don't like the M's and the L's and the N's, change it. Let's call this A, B, C. Shoot, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you label a triangle. So this was originally angle L, so I guess we're finding angle A. That was M, and that was N. So, okay. There's your variable. That's what you're trying to find. All right, here we go. Much better, much better, much better. Which equation are we going to use? And because the variable is here, we're trying to find angle A. The only equation that has a big A up here is, once again, this first one. So I'm going to use the first equation. Let me write it down. Squared equals B squared plus C squared. Looks like the Pythagorean theorem. Minus 2BC cosine big A. All right. Plug everything in that you have, and we'll see what we got. 24 squared. 27 squared, there's your little b. Plus 5 squared, there's a little c. Minus 2 times 27, little b, times 5, little c, times the cosine of big A. There's your variable. That's what we are trying to find. Everything else we've got. Plugged in the 24, 27, the 5, the 27, and the 5. So everything else is good. There's your one unknown. Okay? Solve. Solve, solve, solve. 24 squared. I gotta punch this out. Times 24, 576. Equals 27 times 27 is 729, folks. Don't need a calculator for this next one. I need a calculator for that. 2 times 27 times 5 is 270. Cosine big A. Alright, this is different from the last problem. This is where we're going to end today. We're going to finish this problem. I'll get you the homework, and I'll say adios. We can still combine like terms. We could put those together. So 576 equals 700 and, what is that, 54? Minus 270 cosine big A. Okay. Think to yourself, what are we going to do next? We can't combine these together. Already talked about that. There's multiplication between the 270 and the cosine of A. Let's do this. We got a number here and a number here. Let's subtract 754 on both sides. Those are going to cancel out. So I need to do, what is that, 576 minus the 754. And I'm getting a negative 178. No big deal. Relax. What comes down? It's still a negative 270 cosine big A. Okay. Still need to solve for big A. Now, don't divide by the cosine on both sides. Because we have a number, let's isolate the cosine of A. Let's get this all by itself. So let's divide both sides by negative 270. Those cancel. Equal sign comes down. The cosine of big A comes down. Notice how we're getting the big A all by itself. We're trying to. And then this is actually kind of helpful here because a negative divided by a negative is going to give you that positive. Now we have 178 divided by 270. It's going to give you a decimal. It's going to be 0.659 ... I'm not going to write every number down. I'm going to keep it in my calculator. Now, do not hit the clear button. Keep this number in your calculator. We are trying to find angle A. This is not angle A. This is a decimal. This is not a degree angle. This is just a decimal. Now, in order to get an angle, remember to find an angle. I'm going to write this down again. You must use, maybe you remember this, the sine inverse, the cosine inverse, or the tangent inverse. So we're going to have to use the cosine inverse because we're working with a cosine function. So let's do the cosine inverse of that decimal. Usually it's a fraction, but decimal equals big A. Alright, so watch this happen, folks. I'm going to take that decimal, keep it in your calculator. I'm abbreviating it right here. I'm writing just a couple numbers just so I know, but take the cosine inverse of that, which for me I got to hit the second button and all these change to inverses. So all I got to do is hit the cosine inverse button and I should get my angle. Bam, there it is. Angle A is 48 point. What are we rounding to? Round to the nearest degree. So is that closer to 48 or closer to 49? It's closer to 49 degrees. There you go, folks. There you go. You're going to have a couple of these in your homework. Speaking of which page? Oh, what page are we on? It's the exact same page. It's page 593. And I'd like you to do problems 22 to 27, 32, that's a 2, 38, 59 is review, 60 is review, 61 is review, and 63 is also review. Folks, have a great weekend. We'll see you after spring break. Take care.